Hi friends, Nina Lynn here. Welcome back to Truth Thursday, where every week I answer your questions. Now this week, I wanted to do something different. I want to give you some insight into the process as a congressional candidate. When your name gets on the ballot, you receive a lot of questionnaires from special interest groups that want to know where you stand on certain policies. And one of the questionnaires that I received recently came with a cover letter, which is unusual. The letter was written by Dudley Brown, the president of the National Association of Gun Rights. Now, I'm sharing this with you because the language and the positioning of the letter hit me as part of the problem that we see today in our political climate. It just feeds into the hyper-divisiveness. Now, I'm going to read you the excerpt that prompted my decision not to fill out his questionnaire and instead return in kind a letter back to him, which I will share with you. So his letter reads, "Failure to return the survey deadline will be reported to our members, and our experience teaches that a non-response is usually a sign of hostility towards the Second Amendment." Now, this could not be further from the truth, especially in my case. My response to Mr. Brown was, I'm going to read it to you, and bear with me because it's a little lengthy, but it will, if you listen to the whole letter, you will understand. It will give you the whole picture. Dear Mr. Brown, I received your survey and I want to begin by pointing out something you may not have intended, but cannot go unaddressed. Your letter states that a non-response will be reported to your members as, quote, a sign of hostility to the Second Amendment. Mr. Brown, that framing is itself hostile. It presumes that any candidate who does not submit to your specific questionnaire is an enemy of constitutional rights. That is a false binary, and frankly, it is the kind of coercive language that drives Americans away from serious policy conversations. I would ask that you reconsider that posture because the Americans who believe mostly deeply in the Constitution are often the ones who refuse to be reduced to a check box. I am one of them. I am Nina Lynn, and I am running as an independent candidate for California's 40th Congressional District, not as your survey incorrectly states, as a Democrat. The factual error alone tells me that your process is less than genuine inquiry and more about political sorting. I deserve to be seen accurately, and so do your members. Now, let me tell you who I actually am. I am a constitutional supporter of the Second Amendment, not because the questionnaire requires it, but because I understand why the founders of our country enshrined it. The right to keep and bear arms was not an afterthought. It was the founders' deliberate response to the lived experience of tyranny, a government that had disarmed its own people to consolidate control. The Second Amendment is the codified recognition that a free citizenry must retain the means to defend itself from crime, from invasion, and yes, from the overreach of its own government. That principle does not belong to one party. It belongs to the Republic, our Republic. I have family members who have worn this country's uniform. I have family in law enforcement who carries a badge and firearm in service of public safety. I have friends who are responsible licensed gun owners, including those who hold valid concealed carry permits. I know from the people I love what it means to respect a firearm, the discipline it requires, the responsibility it demands, and the role it plays in personal security and community protection. And as a woman, I believe in the right to protect myself. Full stop. I do not think the government should stand between a woman and her ability to defend her body, her home, her children. That is not a partisan position, it is a human one. And yet, I will not pretend that guns exist in a vacuum. I lost my sister to suicide by handgun. She did not need a policy debate. She needed help that never came, and in her absence, I carry the knowledge that firearms are the method in more than half of all suicide deaths in this country. That the mental health infrastructure that might have saved her from was underfunded, inaccessible, and stigmatized. I will not ignore that, neither should you. And with that said, the gun is not the villain. I want to be unambiguous about that. A firearm is a tool, and tools do not kill. Despair kills, rage kills, isolation kills, untreated illness kills. But when a tool is readily accessible and a person is in crisis, the outcome is irreversible. Now, that is not an argument against the Second Amendment. It is an argument for investing seriously, urgently, and generously in the mental health infrastructure that reduces the conditions under which tragedies occur. Mass shootings are not primarily a gun problem. They are a human crisis problem. They are the visible eruption of invisible suffering, untreated trauma, social isolation, radicalization, and a mental health care system that fails millions of Americans every year. And organizations like yours, which deeply care about protecting the rights of gun owners, should be at the forefront of this funding and advocating for those root cause solutions, because every mass shooting becomes ammunition for those who want to eliminate the Second Amendment entirely. You have a stake in solving this. I choose not to fill out your survey because your survey cannot hold this. It cannot hold my sister. It cannot hold my veteran family members. It cannot hold the complexity of a woman who believes in the Constitution, the Second Amendment, and also believes that we are failing our most vulnerable citizens. Checkboxes cannot carry nuance, and governance requires nuance. What I offer instead is this letter, honest, personal, and grounded in the same constitutional values that you claim to protect. I support the Second Amendment. I support responsible gun ownership. I support the right of law-abiding citizens to carry firearms for self-defense. I support robust mental health investment as a non-negotiable public safety measure. And I refuse to be bullied into a false choice between those commitments. I hope this letter reaches you as a person, not just as a survey. And I'm always happy to discuss further with respect and conviction. Nina Lynn, congressional candidate, every Thursday, no spin, just like this. Follow for more. Leave your comments. I see that a lot of you read and you tune in, but you don't follow. So push that follow button and vote. June 2nd, primary, really, really important.